Okay, boys and girls, this is the last little bit of chapter 3. And then when I'm finished reading this chapter, I'm going to explain to you what your reading task is for today and for tomorrow, because it's going to be a task. It's going to take you, you can do it over the 2 days. So, we've just learnt that witches have blue spit. Let's keep reading. It would if she spat, I said. Witches never spit, my grandmother said. They don't. They don't. I couldn't believe my grandmother would be lying to me. She went to church every morning of the week, and she said grace before every meal, and everybody who did that would never tell lies. I was beginning to believe every word she spoke. So there you are, my grandmother said. That's all I can tell you. None of it is very helpful. You can still never be absolutely sure whether a woman is a witch or not by looking at her. But if she is wearing gloves, if she has the large nose holes, the queer eyes, and the hair that looks as though it might be a wig, and if she has a bluish tinge to her teeth, if she has all of these things, then you run like mad. Grandmama, I said, when you were a little girl, did you ever meet a witch? Once, my grandmother said. Only once. What happened? I'm not going to tell you, she said. It would frighten you out of your skin and give you bad dreams. Please tell me, I begged. No, she said. Certain things are too horrible to talk about. Does it have something to do with your missing thumb? I asked. Suddenly, her old wrinkled lips shut tight as a pair of tongs, and the hand that held the cigar, which had no thumb on it, began to quiver very slightly. I waited. She didn't look at me. She didn't speak. All of a sudden, she had shut herself off completely. The conversation was finished. Good night, Grandmama, I said, rising from the floor and kissing her on the cheek. She didn't move. I crept out of the room and went to my bedroom. So, boys and girls, that was chapter 3 about how to recognize a witch. So your job now is you're going to create a poster, which is going to teach people how to recognize a witch. So when I was reading it, when the grandmother was explaining how to recognize a witch, what things were it? What things were you visualizing in your head? What descriptive language were you picking up on to help describe what to look out for in case you bump into a witch, or for the character to bump into a witch? So you can start and stop the chapter. You can read along with it. But the things we're looking out for, obviously, are the things that we need to look out for in women that could be witches. So I've started my poster. So the important thing is I've got my heading, how to spot a witch. And then I've got some information for my reader to tell them what my poster is about. To spot a witch, Look out for women in the world fitting this description. So for one of the things that the author used, Roald Dahl used to help us visualize it, was one part of it was describing. We learnt that the grandma tells us that witches, they wear wigs because they are bald. So on my poster so far, I've drawn what I think looks like a witch's wig, and then I've labeled it hair that looks like a wig. So on my poster, it shows the reader that to look out for a woman that has hair that looks like a wig. I've also done another line for to put another label in here. Remember, the author told us that witches wear wigs, but they don't put a wig on normal hair like lots of us. They put it onto their bald head because witches are bald, and they do something. They itch. So the missing label that could be on mine is to spot a witch, look out for women in the world fitting this description. So the missing label could be that they scratch their head a lot. So your job now is you need to go and create your own poster about how to recognize a witch, how to spot a witch. You've got 2 days to do your poster, so don't rush it. Take your time. The first thing is you're going to have to go back and think about all the things that the grandma told us about how to recognize a witch. So you need to find those things first and then include all of those in your poster. Good luck.